have stories. Every single one of us. From the highest of the high to the lowest of the low, we all have stories. Exploring the world for the greatest stories of all time.
Hello and welcome. You're listening to the Aron O'Dowd Show.
The Aron O'Dowd Show. Our soul is the screen upon which we project our dreams. What's your story?
Hello and welcome. Good evening, good afternoon, and good morning to all. It's that time of the week where it's the Aron O'Dowd Show, and make sure to comment, subscribe, and smash that like button because it helps the old algorithm get the show to millions of people. Every once in a while, we come across people who have insights that don't inform us, transform us. Today, we are presented with a visionary of Dr. Anneli Driessen, who has shaped leaders, empowering minds, and defining the essence of success. Hello and welcome to the show, Anneli. How are you doing?
I'm doing very well, thank you. Good to see you again.
Likewise. Anneli, take us back to that moment when you realized I want to become a leader.
Oh, interesting question. I never really thought about becoming a leader. What I recall is that when I was a leader in a fairly large company, I went through some major betrayal. And I made it through, and I promised to myself, that was a long time ago, that I want to find a way to serve leaders so that they never have to go through what I went through. And at that time, I was about 30 years old. I didn't know that there was something like coaching that had not been established. But I made a deep commitment that I wanted to help anyone who has the responsibility to lead a team. And my whole life has been around that, and leadership has been expanding, not just to people who run teams, but also leadership for oneself.
And when you were growing up as a child, were you wanting to be a leader?
No, never really thought much about it. I just was one. I was a class speaker. I was leading a group of girls and women, in church. I just happened to roll into leadership like early on in my life, even as early as kindergarten. I recall when the Fräulein had to go to the bathroom, she would say, Anneli, you pay attention to everyone while I'm gone for a few minutes. I didn't remember that until later, but when I looked at my life, there were so many incidences where I was part of a leadership team, or I just was assigned some leadership role.
And were your parents leaders in your life in any way?
My father was. My father was a businessman. He was a roofer and plumber, and we had about 20, 25 men employed. So I grew up with men. And from him, really, I learned a lot about leadership. What later on I learned in seminars, I thought, well, it just makes so much sense. Why do they make seminars out of this? My father did it quite naturally, and he had employees like for many years, for some of them all their adult lives. And so he knew something about nurturing, about leading, about not elevating himself above everyone else. He just did so many things naturally that I picked up that I didn't realize until I was much older.
What was the biggest challenge you had to overcome in your leadership?
My biggest challenges?
Yes.
I made mistakes. One of the mistakes I made, I recall, was that I shared in some ways too many things about myself, about what I was going through with my team, and that backfired. I know that they talk a lot today about being vulnerable and being transparent and all that. That is true. However, there needs to be a fine balance of what can be handled by people in your team and what is appropriate and what is not appropriate. So that was one of the things I learned. Another challenge or learning experience was, and still is for me, to take time for myself. It may sound a little bit strange, but I have been so driven all my life as a doer, as a creator, as making things happen, that what I didn't do and what I'm now doing much more of is some silence time, some time to just be, to reflect, maybe not even reflecting, just be still. And it gives me more insight and energy to be more present and to actually come up with some very good ideas about how I'm going to proceed with the academy and with my private practice, and also with individual clients I'm working with. So that may not sound like much of a leadership skill to some, but it really works for me. And it's something that I learned over the years.
What drives you in what you do, Anneli?
Sorry, what did you say?
What
What?
what drives you in? And let me ask this again: where and what drives you to do what you need to do?
Sorry, you need to say it again. What
Um, might be a problem here, but what drives you for success?
drives me for success?
Yes.
See, for me, success is maybe not what most people think. What drives me is a deep inner commitment I made already early in life to help people, to serve, to make the world a little bit better. I was exposed quite early in life to much pain, and and also injustices. And at some point in time, I remember I made not only a commitment to myself to be happy, but also to make a difference to the world. And when I look back at my entire life, I have done an enormous amount of work and service. I was never really aware of it at the time, but now looking back, particularly since we were part of this book project to write about our life, I did not really realize prior to that how much I have actually done. In different parts of the world and in very creative ways around education and particularly spiritual, metaphysical education.
What are you here to serve for in the world?
What I'm going to serve for?
Yeah.
Well, I have come to understand that why we're here is to learn and to make this world better. However, some of us are only here to complete a particular learning segment in our entire existence. And what I'm doing is helping people to accept that, understand it, and make the best of it. Now, that sounds a little bit generic because there's a whole lot more around that. With my background as a clinical counselor and previously, or at least for 25 years, I have been a certified master coach. Uh, I have found many different ways in how to do that, whether it's creating events, whether it's working individually with people, or serving as a consultant or coach with more high level executives or leaders in different capacities. Now you're fading. I cannot hear you.
Okay, let me get closer.
Yeah, that works fine.
Cool. How does it feel to empower people's minds in the service you do?
Well, first of all, I think people empower themselves. I see myself more as someone maybe who's there to guide them, to love them, to support them. The empowerment is an individual process that people do. When I see that people are moving forward in their life, whatever that is, it is the most enjoyable, moving, fulfilling experience that I have. Uh, and I have many of those. We had a flood a few years ago here at the house, and I found two boxes I had forgotten about, and they were filled with cards, thank you cards of people. I totally had forgotten. They were all wet. I had to throw them away. But before I threw them away, I had a look at them, and I had forgotten. There were so many people I didn't remember. And wow, what an experience it was. It was I was sort of astounded by it because I never really think much about it after after the event, after the person, and and I just thought, you didn't waste your life, Anneli. You did some good, and of course, that is a very satisfying, a very humbling experience as well.
Did you ever did you ever think that your life was a waste?
That I what?
Did you ever think that your life was a waste of time or a waste of effort or a failure?
No, absolutely not. I just always think I don't have enough time to do everything that I want to do. I still have so many plans that when I wrote it once down, I wrote down what I all wanted to accomplish in my life. And then I looked realistically at the time frame it would take. And I came to about 280 to 300 years. and, and I realized I have to kind of do some reality check here and see what actually I should focus on, what should be still my priority before I leave this planet. And so that was also a very sort of humbling and embarrassing experience in a way that I thought I could just do so much more than I can. But yeah, that's really my best answer I can give you.
No worries. And you and I know each other through Metaphysical Academy, but what is the mission that you hear from God? Like God said, "Hey, Anneli, I want you to do this." What is that?
Well, that's a very good but also very intimate question. And that may not come across, my answer may not come across very, very welcome by some people, but I will tell you, I know that before I incarnated here, I gave a promise to do God's work here. And I know that it is, people can say you're crazy, you make it up and all that, and that I don't care. I just know that. And I remembered this years ago. And I asked for guidance and on my journey, and I have been getting it. It was not an easy one at times, but that's what I do. That's what I'm here for. That's it.
Wow, short and sweet. There you go. She's here to do stuff, but yet she's on a mission to change people's lives and empower them at the same time, right?
Well, yeah, I think, yeah, that could be a way to word it. But you see, my focus much has been much on education too. I know that if we want to, if we want to really advance spiritually and recognize why we are here, we need to also have some knowledge. People dabble around in metaphysics right now. I called it recently pop metaphysics, where people are very much at the periphery, deal with this over here, this over there, and it's just this big melting pot of something. But it's often very incorrect and confusing and leading people into wrong directions. So the establishment of the International Metaphysical Academy has been a major contribution on my part, with thousands of documents that I acquired and translated and share in this very comprehensive program that I have. And I know that the true information, the truth about things, which is always highly questionable, because as humans we never probably will have the 100% truth about life and everything, but we have the privilege of having a vast body of knowledge that we share. And I know from feedback from students who made that commitment to acquire this knowledge, their life changed, and they have gained more inner confidence, acceptance of life, enjoyment of life, uh, really deep gratitude about having this opportunity to do what we need to do this time around, regardless of the pains, regardless of the challenges, of the payments, so to speak, the losses, and all these experiences that many people, probably most people, will go through at one point or another, has been phenomenal. And that is just so fulfilling to me when I experience that and see how their life changed in a way, and how they deal with their own relationship with themselves, their families, their work, their health issues, perhaps. It's just phenomenal, and I'm just very grateful and feel very privileged that I'm a little part of that.
As you read thousands of documents and transcribe them from light language and light energy into English, what is the number one piece of advice that you come across or truth that would move us or inspire us or change us to understand more about metaphysics?
Okay, that is a very complex question, and I could talk a lot about it. One of the things that I will offer as an answer is that I was encouraged when we were writing this book about hard knocks to summarize some of the key learnings or concepts that we would like to share with the world. And I came up with a very simple um, simple one, and I call it TLC. Now, TLC at the periphery is of course tender loving care, which is a sort of a nice thing. But the T is for truth, and that is making a commitment to acquire truthful knowledge in whatever way we can. And that also implies a lot of things like discernment, like investing time, perhaps money and energy into it, but also making sure that our mind stays clear, that we don't muddle it up with all kinds of recreational drugs and other drugs or alcohol, because that really does confuse us and bring us into some sort of a wrong direction potentially, and a dangerous one also. Then the L is for love, and love is so huge that we probably cannot assess it and understand it in its vastness and greatness and beauty while we're here on this planet. But we need to still work towards understanding it. And the C from the TLC is a Latin term called carpe vitam, and that really means live your life fully. Don't waste it. You do something with your skills, with your talents, like what you are doing. I mean, this is phenomenal. With what you have been going through to pull this off, to find a team of beautiful people who help you to make the difference in the world with interviewing people who do make a difference, getting the help of a phenomenal coach like Rich Bontrager and several other people who support you, but you do it. That is so fantastic. And you are a guiding light for many people who say, "Oh, I can't do this because I have that," and they have all these problems, and you do it. And so, you are on a very similar path, like many, many good people are showing up now. We're doing something to make the world a little bit better. And I'm doing it simply in my way.
What inspires you to keep going, Anneli?
What inspires me to keep going? Well, all of that I shared with you already. The outcomes, the people who live better lives, people who start to look at why we're here, and that there is some overall something that we can refer to as God that has a purpose for us, that the universe is totally aligned with justice. It is structured around justice. Not what we have here on this planet necessarily, but we can rely on universal laws and principles. And that gives me so much great comfort when I see craziness in the world, which we have plenty of, as you well know. I just the deep knowledge that everything will work out, and everything is guided towards a positive evolution, and the good will win, if you say. That's that drives me, and that comforts me, and that helps me to get through all this nonsense that is going on in the world right now.
With someone that's looking at a different world and you're seeing all these information.
I'm so sorry, you're breaking up again. I can't hear you.
Let me come closer here. Must be a problem with my mic. But someone who has spent hours upon hours transcribing, translating, you probably get a whole different sense that there's a whole different world out there, and you probably think, "Wow, I can't wait to share this." But yet, it's your secret, and yet we're all looking for the hot sauce of what makes us special.
Mhm.
What do you think makes you special in some way?
What makes me special?
Yes.
Oh, you probably should better ask my husband about that. He probably can tell you better about that than I could. I don't really know. he knows me very well, and he says many wonderful things about me. But I don't know. I'm unique, like everyone is, really. I have a very unique journey. Mine is very rich, very diverse. I, um, I didn't. I have no idea what makes me so special. I'm sorry.
It's okay. And it's funny, we don't see what makes us special in us, but yet when people say, look at him, he's doing that, and like you just said a few minutes about me, I could say the exact same about us, but yet we just live life the way it is for us
That's right.
inside.
Yeah. I can tell you a lot about my handicaps, so to speak, or my weaknesses.
I wonder what they are because we all have them.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I can do. But I'm very happy that I am who I am. I like myself, regardless of all my little things that I would like to be different. So
And were you always metaphysical, or just something you discovered in your later life?
no, I was very spiritual in the beginning, or I should say religious. I grew up Catholic, and I was very curious about Jesus and about his life. And I was actually in school the only one who had conversations with a priest. We had once a week, we had an hour of religion. And I left the religion and looked more into comparative religion later on, which I still do. And try to pull out the things that are generic and valuable for anyone in any religion. And that's a part of the academy. It's very faith friendly. So we have people from all kinds of directions come and explore new ways of knowledge. And that's what I really like. Uh, I was a really good little Catholic girl when I was younger. And I was very, very nosy. I wanted to know who this guy is, the devil. I wanted to know who Satan is. I wanted to know who God is, and I asked a lot of questions, which I remember drove my mom crazy because she didn't have the answers. But I have been asking questions probably since I could talk. that's that's the feedback I've been getting, especially from my mother. But my father loved it when I asked questions. And yeah, I have been curious about a lot of things, and I still am. And I'm recognizing so much that I don't know, and that I would like to have more knowledge. And one of my greatest joys is to study, and to look at the internet, what's out there, read articles. Um, I read less books, I read more articles, and then I ask questions. And it inspires me. It keeps me alive. It's a juice in my life. And then I'm very fortunate with my husband. He's brilliant, and we have the best conversations. And it's just such a gift for both of us because we explore new thoughts and look at different types of research and discuss things, and it's wonderful. It's wonderful.
We search for things because we're looking for answers, and we become therapists because we want to explore more in us. But in right now, have you found the answers to what you're searching for, and are you truly you in you and wholesome in yourself at the same time?
I'm not quite sure that I understand your question. Are you talking about
So
my relationship with myself and understanding who I am?
yeah, so like we search for things in us, we become who we want to become because we have a mission to do that, or a
Hmm.
journey to do that. But what was like, have you answered the questions? Have you found your true being where you feel comfortable and at home of where you are right now?
Absolutely, absolutely. I am, as I said earlier, I'm grateful that I am here at this time in this world, and to do what I do and have done what I have done. It's a beautiful, satisfying experience. It doesn't mean I'm full of myself and I'm grander and this. That doesn't know. It's just I'm just very grateful to be who I am, really, and I like it. I look at the way how I respond or analyze how I respond to certain challenging situations, and I, check it out and question, what did I do? Did I come from a place of love and respect and knowledge and competency, or was my ego in the way with something? And so I check in with myself. But overall, I really do think I'm okay.
When you get to the party gates, Anneli, and your job is done here on this planet, I wonder what will come out and what will be the answers of all the questions you've been searching for.
Again, sorry, I didn't hear. Did you say that again?
So, when your journey's finished and you're at the party gates and you're getting your review of, gee, that was a great life. I wonder what that conversation would be like,
That's what I'm aiming for. Definitely. You asked some really interesting questions. Yeah, I still want to do some things, but overall, I'm very happy with my life and what I have done and what I'm still doing. So, I could screw it up. Obviously, anyone can. I don't think I will, but I hope I don't make any major error in anything. I'm very solid within myself, who I am, and that's a pretty good place to be in.
Where can we find you, Anneli, if people want to get to know more and do what you do and play with you in some way,
Yeah, well, you can look at the website that I have, which is metaphysicalacademy.com. You can also look at my personal website, for my consulting and coaching and counseling work, which is just my name, annelidriessen.com. And also you can find me on LinkedIn. And I'd be happy to work with anyone who is sincere in wanting to get some help to get through stuff. And I'm open to, as I said, with anyone to work with, not just executives, not just wealthy people. I'm happy to work with anyone who comes my way and really is serious about moving forward in life.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Anneli, for being on this show. It's been a blast and great to see you again and great to have another fantastic conversation with you.
Thank you so much, Aron, and all the best for you. And again, congratulations. You're doing fantastic work.
Excellent. Guys, if you liked the conversation, make sure to like, comment, and smash that like button. And, it just shows you how we can all have a mission to achieve success and be who we need to be, because that's what we're meant to be. We're here for a reason, and that reason is to move, inspire, and empower people. And remember, next week at 4 p.m. UK time, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, we'll be back with another incredible conversation to move, inspire, and empower the world to show the superheroes that we are. So take care, have a fantastic week, and I'll check in with you guys next week.
Thank you for listening to the Aron O'Dowd Show, where the world's best stories are told. If you like, please post a review or subscribe to the show. To find out more, contact us at aronodowd.com. That's ARONODOWD.com. We're always ready to share another magnificent tale from the world's best storytellers. So stay tuned and rock